Double crossed.
All right. Allegedly, we are live on YouTube.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Might have
Okay.
fucked this all up. But, yeah, so we're here. Hopefully the audio is good for everybody. I got yeah, so welcome to the RC Drift Talk podcast. Got the full Team D style takeover tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Obviously, Adam is not able to be with us tonight. So, got some of the boys from D Style. We got Portland guys will know James. And we got Alex and Xavier down there from D tuning in, coming to hang out with us. Should be a good episode. So I will just get right in. Hopefully, I get some feedback from chat that the audio is fine. Like we got Miko in the chat as well, which is good.
There we go. There we go.
Damn, you couldn't make it.
I even hop on my tube.
How you doing?
I even.
Alex. Oh yeah, I think I got the names wrong. Fix this. So you guys, I'm gonna get you guys started on a topic, and then I'm gonna try to fix this real quick. You guys gotta bear with me tonight. I'm using OPS for the first time. I've been trying to figure it out. We'll get it sorted. But so you guys were just talking about the overdose competition and some of that stuff. You guys talking about like qualifying, at least showing that you can do a qualifying score good, or trying to work on the nerves.
Yeah, that qualifying system was interesting. I fucked with it. It gave everyone a chance to make something happen, even at the last moment. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure where I stand on the numbers that are the automated system. I like to know where my points come from and what I missed and where. I like it to be explainable, not just generated. But if it's something that you can look back and show you were offline by half a car, then that's where it is. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
It looked like they were judging off the juiciness of it, how you threw it in. To me, at least, that's where you got scored the most.
Yeah, and then the wall hits too. I don't know how we got to find the limit to that.
Yeah, that's the thing with all qualifying. I mean, I think any rule set you create for drift, there's always going to be a gray area, so it's always going to be really hard to give people that singular line of like, this is allowed, this is not. And I think the other thing is there's always going to be an area like the actual gray area where if you have three judges, one guy might think it's one way and one guy might think it's the other way. The rule set way it is, it's just always going to be not clear.
Yeah. In the judging game comp or sport.
Yeah, especially drifting. Drifting is strictly how you interpret it.
Yep.
If you want to drive with high angle and slow speed, and you think that's the way to go, that's how you're going to design your whole everything, your whole setup.
People just aren't ever going to be super great at putting down on paper what they want to see in the competition. Hard. But that is an interesting one. I do like the idea of a little more freedom to maybe not be as precise, but it allows for taking those risks.
I like that too, even though I didn't touch not one wall that whole comp. It like that there was an option.
Yeah,
I was definitely familiar.
Yeah, there's something about it. Does feel way more rewarding. I think you do a big flick entry and come so close to the wall without touching it. That does feel a little better.
You know when you hit that you were close the whole time, and it's you didn't bounce off of it. You were right where you should have been.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna continue to kick the show off here. So Just to recap, we got most of Team D style. There's a few of us not included tonight, but in the upper right hand corner, you're gonna have Alex Kingsbury. Then on the bottom right, you're gonna have Xavier, and then on the left is gonna be James, and I'm Logan. Kick off with some calendar events. Calendar. So obviously, this weekend is a pretty big weekend, both in SoCal and in Oregon. Down in SoCal, they have Rev D people, guys visiting SoCal. They got an event on tomorrow at Super G, and then they're going down to GGT on Saturday. So I think that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
Obviously,
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. There you go. So
Then Monday Vertex.
Monday at Vertex. Sick. Obviously, Rev D has pretty close ties to. Pretty awesome trip. You guys excited for that one?
Oh man,
Yeah,
crazy.
This would be sick. This would be sick for sure.
I'm excited to see those. Like I know GGT size of GGT. It's going to be interesting with all the people.
Yes, I was kind of just thinking that right now too. Like, yes, that could be something.
I hope you guys are ready for your prom poses.
So then, obviously, also up here in Oregon, we have our first annual Drift to Death Matsuri, 3-day extravaganza where we're gonna drift until somebody actually dies. That might actually happen.
They said that might actually happen.
We'll see. I mean, you know, some of us are kind of old. A long time to stand up. Make sure you aren't locking your knees, folks.
One of my band homies told me about that one.
Shout out to Adam. Unfortunately, not able to make it with us tonight, but glad he's getting where he needs to go. He's at the airport. He's live. We can get him in his. So yeah, we got after that. Our next podcast is going to be with another local guy, Nikki. Not even going to try to pronounce his last name, but he does a lot of the 1/24th stuff. Ooh. He's a full expert on micro scale
drifting
stuff. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of funny. We have we had a little awkward space at our track, so we threw down some of the leftover J-tile that we have.
Yeah,
made a little spot, but then one of our Judd brought in one of his. He bought a 24 scale car, and we started driving it, and the whole thing it can link the main track, no problem. So it's like the little space we have is kind of like pointless. It's like I can't really do anything here. It is what it is.
That's dope.
So then I'm definitely not gonna have the full calendar. But the next thing I have is September 8th is going to be our final round of our regional series. Jake has already sealed the deal on that, but James and I are very much still messing with each other, trying to steal second place. There's a couple other guys in the mix too that could grab that. Sure. And the next thing would just be SDC Worlds coming down that. Got DJ in the chat. Another one coming down for SDC finals. Guy. All right.
Our CDF too in November.
Oh yeah. That which one is that? What's that?
The NorCal.
Okay.
The Rolling Garage Series.
Oh yeah. So and that's the one with like the crazy prize money too, right?
Yep.
Pretty sick. I think yeah, that's cool. I don't know how they're affording that, but yes.
Make it happen.
All right. So that's the calendar events. Yeah, so obviously today, once again, we have the D-Style boys, and I think us three, correct me if I'm wrong, but aside from James, we're all relatively new to the team. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yep. February.
all this year.
Yep.
So what's up? What's up, my brothers, my new guys?
Yeah.
What do you
Shit.
think about that, James? What is that? Now obviously, D Style has gone through a lot of changes over the years, but it seems like one to start growing the team back up.
Yeah, I was stoked to hear the revival of it and kind of like this newer family direction with it. And kind of aiming towards more of trying to teach and be better in the community and kind of help out. And that's kind of what it originally was all about. But this is kind of like more of the vision and the direction that it wants to go. And I'm all for it. And having incredible drivers and people along with it to help share it is this is probably one of the coolest years I've been a part of it. So I'm hyped.
Sick. So I'll start with like you guys were both around the same time, like kind of
pretty
finding
much
out.
Good,
that
good
time.
time.
So what like can I'll start with Alex. Like how do you think that really kind of came about? You just started going to GGT or
Um, honestly, it comes from going to competitions. Um, I would go and obviously driving at GGT. So when I would go with, I would go to the tracks. Miko would be the main one I'd be familiar with. So I would most of the time just it kind of organically we got closer and closer, and then obviously I'm doing better as a driver than I have been. So I feel like it was a pretty easy choice.
so you just kind of through going to GGT met Miko and it like made good friends, started driving a lot together, and here you
Yep.
are.
Yep.
I would imagine your story is pretty similar, Xavier. Or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, GGT is the home track, and yeah, I'm pretty much. I feel like I got put on for just potential. Like, I think he sees some potential there.
The
I think,
consistency.
yeah,
Yeah.
you've shown it for sure. I mean, I'm following some of your guys' competition
That's
looking really good. So, how long, Xavier, have you been drifting?
2 years in November. That will be 2 years.
What about you, Alex?
RC about just over 2 years, like 2.5.
Are you guys are both driving RDXs, right?
Yep.
At
Yep.
them. Yes.
Full option. Um, just Rev D.
Everything. There's having seen like James's car when he brought it back. It's more than just an RDX. It's all kinds of little pieces, bits here. Can you guys talk about like how you guys kind of developed the chassis over however long you've had it?
Ooh.
I couldn't really. That's Vince right there. Vince and Nico.
All right.
I'm not even going front on that one.
Yeah.
So is it a situation where you guys kind of just like talk to Vince about what you're feeling and what you'd like, or just kind of putting things on there and seeing how you like?
It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously, like we said, everybody drives differently. No two people want. I mean, obviously, people want to drive the same, but nobody drives exactly the same as somebody else. So what works for me probably won't work for you. I mean, it might, but it's not. It's not guaranteed to. So we all like different things, and especially with Miko, Albert, and James having 8.6 bodies, and a lot of people down here running 8.6 bodies, real short bodies, super bodies. With me and Xavier having the FC and the S15 are freaking boats.
Yeah.
So we definitely have to drive a little bit different.
Yeah.
But like I said, every car is a little bit different. Nobody's is identical.
Yep. Even the same car with all the same parts and the same
Yep.
body and the same paint is.
Yep. They're all tuned completely different.
Yep. Miko says for X that it was your positive attitude into me.
There we go.
Good vibes only.
Only.
Alex, how long did you say you'd been drifting for? I'm sorry.
So RC drifting was 2.5 years, just about.
Got you.
And I have real 240. So I've been driving since I was 16. My first car was a 240. I've had like 7 of them.
Sick.
Sick.
You're
Yeah.
you're partly to blame for the two prices.
I've cut up my fair share.
So you were kind of like IRL drifting already. How did you sort of get pulled into RC stuff?
Honestly, it's the scale of it. Just going out because I have my cars set up to be comp legal at almost every track. My real car, but it's just so expensive. It's like you could spend over easily 2-3 grand to go out of state to go drive. You could put 3 grand into an RC car and go drive for 3 years.
Yes.
So what do you kind of weigh some options? It's just more realistic.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely for me. It is the I've always had the urge to do the real thing, but the reality of
Don't
like
give it up. Do not give it
yeah, of
up.
course,
This
but
is
the just the
this is the good
reality
news.
of like what I can afford now and what I'm gonna get back out of it. It's like right now this makes way more sense, much more enjoyable, and you can just kind of like I'm not to say that you need to have a bunch of money to do this, but
You could go to a weekend with $20 and come back with 20
yeah,
bucks.
yeah, and you can pretty easily just kind of buy whatever you want, and it's like not crazy. You know what I mean? Versus
Yeah.
you could spend 6 figures on a real car if you really wanted to.
Easily.
Yeah. But definitely don't give up on the real car stuff.
Oh, not at all.
It's the
Never.
fun factor is there. Yes,
Yeah.
this is smaller and it's that small amount of fun, but the big stuff is that much more fun.
Yeah. I believe you. What about you, Xavier? How did you get into this?
Honestly, I want to say YouTube. It looked real cool. And like I did some research and I was like, I went to Target. I was like, let me get one of these Fast and Furious drift cars. And I'm glad I didn't. I got went and got an MST, even though, looking back on it, probably wasn't the best, but it was a great starter. It
Yeah.
built character for sure.
Yeah, I don't think those are necessarily that bad of a choice. There's worse options.
If you want to like RTR for sure, like I would go MST. Like people say Yokomo, but like if you're really trying to like out the door, like start drifting, I would say MST.
Yeah, definitely. So you eventually wound up with an MST. What was the first track that you started going to? GT?
First track I ever went to was Super G, and I
That's
would say
crazy.
I was going there for like a month or two, and then I went to GGT. I probably was there for like 30 minutes. People started showing up and they were fast as shit, and I fucking left. I was like, this. I didn't know only pros show up here. What's this? What is this? So then I went back to Super G for a while, and then I came back, and then eventually, like, I started, getting better and better, just going to GGT more and more.
Yeah.
That's a lot of character over there.
So I want to ask this to both of you. What of when you obviously you both still drive at both places, different days, right? What do you guys? Can you guys both just kind of like compare the two tracks of like what you think you get out of one versus the other, and what you prefer about one over the other, stuff like that?
Ooh.
I'll let you start off, Alex.
GGT is a driver's track. Super G is a tuner's track. And what I mean by that is GGT has character. I mean, obviously you can tune for GGT, but you have the banking, you have bumps. Like, it's not an even surface. It's real tight. It's real technical. It's like you're moving up and down, you're moving side to side. There's wall rides, you places you can crash easy. And then you go to Super G, it's real open. I don't change my car at all, but it's you just stretch your legs. It's big, wide, smooth, sweeping. It's open.
I could see
GGT
that.
is real tight
Yeah.
and real closed.
Having driven at like Pit Stop or Rolling Garage, I could definitely, when I went to Super G right after, it was like freeway,
Yeah, yeah, definitely
like
up a gear.
Dubai drift. Like, oh, I'll never hit a wall. I think that's a good like a good tool, you know. It's like training with a weight vest on.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Would you agree with all that, James?
Yeah, I'd say they're spot on. Um, yeah, it's kind of fun just coming from seeing those two tracks and then, coming up here north. I feel like PDX is almost like the in-between middle spot of Super G and GGT. We have a couple technical spots for sure on the track, but for the most part, there's quite a few sweepers where you can kind of let the car just run. But yeah, I have to agree with Alex where it's like with GGT, it was definitely more of the driver's track. Like, there's a lot of things you have to be really cognizant of. That back wall will get you if you're not on the right line and all that. And Super G for sure. It just felt like you can just let the car run. So yeah, they're both on it.
Yeah. I always go back, like, I think for me it's definitely fun to be had in both styles of track.
Definitely.
It is fun to just like let her eat, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, maybe it would be cool to see like someday even more of a combination of the two, like a bigger track that isn't very smooth. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Or a
that
little
would be great.
waviness to it. That could be fun. There's a lot of stuff that I think I would love to see happen with tracks that just kind of can't because the sport's a little young still, or not young, but just not rich, I would say.
We got some ideas.
Yeah.
There's a couple companies starting up. That you should build your own track in your backyard. You got guys like Thrash, his outdoor, his back porch. It's a great place. Just stuff like that. It's little concrete sections. It's all you need. You don't got to go crazy, but at the same time, some space would be nice. But we're getting there.
Yeah. Itching for the days of like dedicated bank turns,
Oh man,
more elevation.
like
Crests.
a section of a park.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If mountain bikers can do it, we can too. Cool, man. So you guys obviously both compete in the Super G series. Another question for both of you: do you guys consider yourselves to be primarily competitors, or just something you do because there?
I think I do it just because I'm competitive, but I'm here to have fun. Like I love drifting, so I'm here to drift. Competitive driving is just kind of an outlet of that. Um, I wouldn't say I'm primarily a competitive driver though.
I got you. Yeah, yeah. So it's definitely the competitive aspect of it is what is attractive, but it's not necessarily the main thing you want to.
Yeah.
What about yourself, X?
Same. I'm competitive, but I'm competitive to where like I wanna beat myself, not anyone on the track. Like I'm at the point where it's like I don't even need a win. I just want to drive to the best of my capabilities.
Yeah.
That would be good enough for me.
Yeah, like a success is
Yeah,
just
we
going
can
out there and
just
not leaving
showcasing
anything on the table. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a solid solid approach to have for sure. Keeps it a little easier to be okay with stuff happening that doesn't.
Definitely.
As long as it's within your control and it gets better every time, that's kind of the main focus.
So what is it like for you guys driving with Miko so much? You guys talk about just things you learned from him and what it is like just driving with him all the time and shit like that.
When you say it like that, I'm not realizing how much of a blessing it is to have a pro driver
Yeah.
in your backyard that you can just
I got
like go down with that. Yeah, that
So
definitely helped my skill get to where it is right now.
it
That fool
it's
is crazy. He is something
it's it's like playing a video game and you throw like the number one rank, the ghost, out in front of you, and it's like, all right, well, let me just chase that till I get closer and closer
Yeah.
because he's gonna run the same line every time. Like it's guaranteed.
Robotic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely a top tip. Like when you're starting out, find someone like that and just chase them. Just
Yep.
follow them around as much
Try
as you
your best
can.
not to run into him, but
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
But yeah, you learn. It's not even learning like you can learn a line off of that. You can learn how. I mean, even like really early on, it was like learning how to catch up when you're way slower. Like, okay, yeah, I can cut here, move here, be a little inside here, and then once you do start to get faster, then it's like, okay, I can
How do I
learning
avoid cutting to keep up?
avoid cutting and not diving in, not closing the gap too fast, and keeping your angle. Yeah, so many things to learn from doing a lot of driving like that, and it is awesome to have someone very distant
It's very
that with. What was James? What was when you were getting started? Was it just always Miko that was kind of that position for you, or was there other guys at the track?
You mean like starting as getting onto the team or crew, or like in the very beginning?
Just in the very beginning of drifting.
Very beginning, I was one of those people who didn't really know too much about what was the right chassis or not. I had an old HPI E10 from like 2012, 13. I was like parking basher. But fast forward to like 2018, I had a Sakura what was it, D3 counter steer and needed parts. And of course, Super G might have had it, but happened to be the same day they were running like the twin tandem, like finals SDC. And I'm like, this is sick. So I got like a YD2S, but like, what's funny is like with looking back, probably the first 2 months of me getting into driving, Shane and Miko were there. I just didn't know them and they didn't know me yet, but they, it was kind of like this, oh, I recognize you. Hey, you're here all the time. This is cool. I get to have, I see someone here driving that I may be able to connect with later on. And like fast forward to like, you know, 2020 and stuff is like, oh, if I get to be part of the crew and, be part of the team, and just working and learning with Mika, honestly, it felt like a master and apprentice program with him. Like so much, I think I'm comfortable talking while driving is because of him, because, we'd be running lines and stuff and he'd be full conversation, be like, hey, you need to go to this outer spot here. Hey, you need to run this line here, follow here, and then vice versa. When I would lead and stuff, he'd be, telling me where to hit, where to go. And through that, before my time at D-Style, like I absolutely despised leading. I hated it. I only wanted to chase. I did not feel confident in my leads. And I can blame Miko now that like I would much rather lead any day than chase. Like that's where I have my confidence. And, thanks to all of his help
Yeah.
and support on that. And
It's funny. It's funny to hear you talk about not liking leading because obviously I chase you a lot.
yeah.
Also, I still have not perfected the talking. I cannot talk and drive at the same time. It does not work. I'll go straight into a wall.
I've learned that distracts people definitely at the track. I'll try and talk to someone next to me, and they're like, I can tell I'm breaking their concentration. And I'll shut up. But
Yeah, it's like
That must be a GGT thing because I
yeah,
know Alex be talking while we drive.
for sure. Well, then like even some of the the twin tandem stuff, like Nico and I went up to San Jose probably 4 years ago for it, and it's like we were talking the whole time during the comp because we wanted to just make sure we knew what each other was doing throughout the run. Like, hey, I'm initiating here, doing this, and having that vocal just being able to communicate while doing it just helps out so much.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's just always my brain does not compute. It's like
It's too
what,
many things going
and this immediately lose the connection to my hands,
on.
but it's all good. Um, so you guys at GGT have a pretty, I think like most tracks, there's like a good crew of people there, kind of for the core group of
Yeah,
guys. Is
definitely.
that
Yeah.
going with this?
Shout out to everybody, all the regulars.
Yeah,
All the regulars, all the people that have come and gone, that show up every once in a while.
The seasonals.
Yeah, yeah.
is that you guys get less busy in the summer?
Mm, I don't know if we particularly have a busy season. It's not noticeable to be picked up. There's a lot of new guys right now.
Yeah, the flux is so weird of like the drivers that come in and leave and like because like that threshold of like being able like to drive and have a good time with everyone is
Yeah,
hard threshold to break.
and especially there, it's a tight place. So if you can't jump in and you can't last for more than a couple laps, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah,
For sure.
that is always a challenge at the tracks is when you guys are there and it's pretty busy. Like trial by fire, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Either swim or
Yeah.
get out of the pool.
GGT
Especially at
has
y'all's tracks. What was that?
GGT has it kind of self polices itself. Once there's too many cars on the track, people will just start pulling off
Yeah,
left and right. Um, if you get fast guys on the track, other fast guys show up to the track. If you get slow guys out, then the fast guys are hanging
Yeah.
out. Slow guys are everybody's out there. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty.
You know
It
what?
works.
I never thought about that, but you're super right about that. There is
It
a
just
flow like that. Yeah.
there's not a words exchanged.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It just flops.
yeah. I think that's good for every track to have that kind of mentality of like, I have my time on the track with my friends and we're all fast and recognizing that I can go take a break maybe and let other people drive that might not
That's it. That's it.
necessarily want to be driving while huge train is going.
Right, right. It's like we had 10 minutes of fun. We'll come back in 20.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I would be interested in like getting metrics on this, but I think I'm a pretty low, like the ratio of time I'm at the track, the time I'm actually driving is probably pretty low on the driving front, like
Yeah.
mostly just hanging out. And
Uh,
I will put in some marathon sessions, but I spend a lot of time like not driving. Are you
Yep.
guys the same way, or you guys like to just
No, that's
grind?
definitely it. That is definitely it. Yeah, yesterday I think we got one battery in, if that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely a kick day.
I think James is a bit of a grinder.
Yeah, if you leave me to it, I'll just drain a few lipos and then call. I don't know, just go on, autopilot and just
Hard
loop for
retirement.
like 45 minutes straight and realize where did everyone go.
Mhm.
But it's funny that Xavier and Alex are talking about that because that's something that hasn't been very prevalent at PDX, but something that's very apparent at GGT is like you get the laps in with the guy, like you rip for like a solid half hour, 45 minutes, and then you go outside and you either eat or you hang out with the crew, the pack, and you talk for like an hour. And then during that time, that's usually when people who may not have felt as confident or wanted to be on the track with everyone else, they'll kind of have their time and they'll get their laps in. And it's like this funny flex of like it gets really crazy, and then all of the local crew kind of like take a break, and it winds down and gets really quiet, and then maybe like a half hour goes by, and then it ramps back up again, and so
Yeah.
you get like
Just
maybe three of those up and downs through the night.
Beautiful description. Beautiful description.
I mean, easiest way
I
to
think
describe
we
it for me.
do. I think we get that at least a little bit. Like it might not be as pronounced, but there's definitely moments when most of the- like say most of the team PDX guys aren't driving. There's a lot of other people out in the track getting laps on their own. And the other thing is like obviously there's plenty of pass through action, so it's actually and it's a long track, so it's not that hard to stay out of the way. Best way I can put it in that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a big. There's a lot of turns. Yeah, it's a juicy track.
And
Yeah,
we've
we
all been
got
there.
some
We've all been trying to stay out of the way of everybody.
we got
You know,
I
especially-
wanted to show everybody got this all set up. But Kevin has been messing with the track a little bit before our event. Got this
Damn,
setup
really
going on. A little bit of fancy lighting and
Mm-hmm. Damn, yeah, it looks fresh.
so bummed we're missing this event.
yeah. It's been a tough pill for me to swallow for sure because I know this would have been that much bigger if we could have all you guys up, but next year, obviously.
Definitely.
It's you got guys like Vittorio, all the Rolling Garage guys, all the Tech One. Everybody could have.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's probably better this way that because I think if we were like on the ball, we could have planned this much earlier and we probably could have got a lot of those people to come. And I think it would have been too crazy for the first year. You know what I mean?
That's it. You kind of got to build into it.
So yeah, it is. It's nice that this year it's still going to be probably it's probably going to be the biggest event that we've had, but it at least isn't going to be so insane that it's not can't handle it. It's going to be a little sad. Obviously, Adam is not going to be able to make it for the weekend's festivities either, which obviously we don't want to lose Adam as a friend, but he also is typically helping us out with some of the electronics equipment like a PA and setting up a live stream and stuff. So we're gonna be missing out on that this year, which is definitely a little bit of a bummer, but it's still gonna be a good. So speaking of events, you guys have an event this weekend. What are being track locals? I imagine you're a little more involved, kind of plannings of it. What has that been like so far? What are you trying to accomplish with the event, and what do you expect?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't think there's been much discussion on what we're trying to accomplish. But I know this is a huge event for Keith. It's been a long time planning, and everybody, like I said, it's been a community effort. Everybody's come together. This is it's put on by the people. And it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be big.
Yeah,
Should be
I
lots
mean,
of fun.
it's something like that can put GGT on the map for a lot of places in the world that might not have otherwise even came across it. So that's definitely sick to have the international attention. People are going to start wondering, like, whoa, they're going to GGT. I wonder what that's about. Go check that out. You know what I mean? That could be cool. Do you guys have anything in particular planned, or is it just kind of hang out and drive with some international folks?
I know Randy's gonna be there. Hanapa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be cooking for the weekend, so that's gonna be dope. So there's gonna be food all weekend.
Yes, sir. Make sure you place your orders. What was the question?
Just like what do you have? You guys have anything in particular planned for the event, or is it just everybody come out and some
I want to
laps?
say there's gonna be a fun comp too, right?
So as far as I know, there's mini games. On Sunday, I believe we're doing a solo and a twins comp. And I don't quote me, but I think there's a raffle. I really shouldn't have said that one. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
And but yeah, there's still stuff to set up. So
Yeah.
we got some more work to do before driving. But once we get there, it's strictly fun.
Have either of you? I mean, presumably you both of you guys have been to events like this before.
Um, honestly,
They say yeah.
not like a Matsuri type thing where it's like a full weekend or nah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
I can't say I've done it either.
Yeah,
To
I've
be
not
be a
stayed,
good one.
but
we've
Like
had
Keith
like
usually. Oh yeah, go ahead.
we've had like 1 day things, and then we have our little expo in Washington that is kind of basically a Matsuri. It's like 2 days of just driving. There's not really any. It's just the organization is there's a track at this place and you can come and drive on it, and that's the extent of like event man. Like
yeah,
there's nothing
yeah.
else to it than that. But yeah, this is also our first like Matsuri, like true Matsuri. We've had one fun
Yeah.
day, but and we're also like kind of celebrating having the tile.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
I
I
think
need to get that broken in nice and well.
Yeah,
A lot of cars on it. Like, so hopefully that'll help out.
light ulterior motive.
I think the closest thing is probably the cross games events or like Super G, the finals.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
thing. Everybody's just happens to be in town. It's like, well, we're all
Yeah.
here anyways. Why are we not going to drive together?
yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Um, yeah.
Have you been to a bunch of events like this, James?
Not particularly. So it should be fun. And I'm trying to think of back in history. I'm like, I can't really recall. Like, I remember some of the SDC stuff where I was like, cool, it's going to go from like Friday to Sunday. And by Sunday, you're like, wow, I'm tired and burnt out. And did we have the raffle? I guess that already happened. I can't remember. Like, it goes by in a flash. So I don't, that was, they're fun. They come quick. So I think it's just that the best part of it is just to have a good time with everybody.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Hey, what up, Charles?
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta catch up on some chat here. We
Yeah.
got Mitch in the house, Vittorio's in the house. Got Midnight Drifters, welcome back. Charles chatting, saying what's up to Xavier.
Charles on God.
We'll have to get Charles on the schedule. I think we've talked about it. I think it's a matter of when. Might already be on there. I don't. Charles definitely do a spot on here. You guys got questions in chat for these guys? Let's get those rolling in. What's up, Mitch and Mark?
I sure hope so.
Ask these guys some questions. I do have to apologize. I'm not super prepared for tonight. Been in Atlanta. Then I was gonna try
It's
to
a busy week.
yeah. Been in Atlanta all week, and then I was gonna try to do some research and question stuff, and like got to learn how to do the whole streaming part of this.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
Yeah.
It's running smooth though. It's running smooth.
It's not. It's not. I think I'm doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Judd's asking me what time we're meeting in the morning. This is perfectly appropriate time to figure this out. I don't know.
Here.
I don't think I got an answer for that one.
Yeah.
I gotta pick up Jordan and Adam at the airport in the morning.
Okay.
You go to the track whenever. Let's do this. Let's hop in and look at some chassis here. I hope I have this set up right. Let me know if you guys see
Yeah, there's
that. You can.
Yep.
That's a good picture.
All right.
Hey, I took that.
I believe this is X's car.
Yes,
that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
So run us down this thing real quick. What are we looking at?
Shit. So Axon shocks. We got what else? Rev D knuckles. We got Rev D uppers, lowers. Rev D servo. Rev D gyro. Shit. I run the Fat Boy Rev D battery. We got the RPX2. That's the only thing that's not really Rev D on my car.
You're so close.
And running a Futaba 4 p.m. I probably should upgrade the receiver, but it's still the regular receiver. And that's about it. We got the servo in the back and the high motor. Oh, Type R motor too, Yokomo.
Hmm.
That's also Yokomo motor and the RPX.
Yeah. So this the common theme that I've seen with all of the other D style RDX, you guys seem to like them pretty stiff,
Yeah.
and you even
Yeah.
have this little bonus guy
Mhm.
over here.
Yeah, the secret sauce.
Either of you want to comment on that? What are your feelings about that? I know James recently added that, correct?
I think so. I'm like trying to look at the phone. Like, what did you?
The
pointed it-
extra turnbuckle on the front bulkhead.
I think so. I have to look at my car again. I
It's like,
remember.
I don't know.
Oh,
I think this is also a classic D style attitude of like, Vince did it.
Pretty much. But I know it helps lock down the front end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or else it wouldn't be what it is for sure.
You guys always have top deck pieces with all the extra spacers and everything.
Yeah.
One
Shout out again. Shout out to Vince for
Mhm.
getting all those
Coming
numbers
up
right.
with all that hard
That
work.
man be in the lab. He be in the fucking lab.
That's stupid.
And I think all y'all's shocks are built the same way as well too, right?
that's probably for sure.
What is it about? Do you guys know about the battery? Is it just
Preference.
like heavier?
For me, it's just preference. I like the thick boy. Like yeah. It's funny. Before I got the shock. Like we changed the shocks. Like it was different before, like what it is now, and the small battery was working, but the big battery feels good again
So
in my
just purely a feel thing.
car. Mm-hmm. Purely.
Cool. Here. What body do you run on this?
I run a FC. Yeah, it's not on me, or else I'd grab it right now. It's in my cat.
Disappointing.
This
Disappointing.
like, oops. But yeah, it's a long boy. It's big body bins.
Everything here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Just what
Maximum depth of field for sure. That one's up. So yeah, I mean it's RDX. Got
Yeah, it's,
shock build.
Yeah, it's an
Got
RDX.
a lot of
it's
Rev D stuff. How would you describe like what you're kind of
yeah.
wanting the car to feel like? What do you do with it, and how do you drive?
Honestly, I go me personally, I guess for speed, not as much angle. I feel like I throw decent angle. I You would have to ask other people, but I just I like to move as quick as possible, even though that might not be the best thing. But I like to throw backies and just have the car just sink in.
Yeah, back up again.
I'm not trying to power slide sideways or do any weird stuff. I'm just trying to just have direct power, just no funny stuff.
I think that definitely that seems like that comes through if we go off of the one of the scores you got at the overdose games.
Yeah, she was feeling good for sure. That 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 weekend. It's still feeling good right now. Still feeling good right now. I don't even change my car from like Super G to GGT.
Yeah,
I don't do anything.
I'm the same.
Yeah, I just put her down.
I don't make a lot of changes. I used to like I made it how I like it. Like, what tires do you guys run at GGT?
DRCs for the most part, and then Rev D, what the O1s or what are they called?
Yeah.
ASO1, yeah. Is
And
there a
then
preferred
I think
tire between the two?
if you're slow, run the Rev Ds. If you wanna, like I guess once you work your way up, you can get DRCs. But if you're learning, I would just use the Rev Ds.
Yeah, we
At least at our track. At our track.
yeah, no, we definitely we used to have just we were P's, C's, or ASO ones. A lot of people did like the ASO ones because they would last a little longer than like the P, but the P was usually faster and kind of, at least for myself, I basically just always had to run the P because it's like I can't keep up.
He is crazy.
Yeah, P. Is this a TK setup in the rear?
Yes, it is a TK.
Yours TK, James?
It sure is. Funny enough, I've had the chance to drive X's car, and his is like the very smooth, predictable version of my car. Like they drive similar, but his is kind of like the more refined version. So Logan, if you can think of my car, but then kind of pushed, amplified, refined a bit more, that's kind of where his is at.
Kanzai V2 deck.
Mm.
Just, people wondering.
All right, let's check out Alex's car. Yeah, all the upper decks.
Damn, I know she looked thick.
Stack.
What can you tell us about this one? It looks pretty similar. I mean, some of it is obviously different.
Yeah, it's pretty identical. So Axon shocks, same thing. Rev D deck, top and bottom. The extra side bracing really stiffens the chassis up. Um, trust me, there's you name it, we got it. Stock arms.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So you don't need to go crazy with it. It's pretty bare bones. TK block, ball diff, high motor, nothing crazy.
It's a Revox.
Yep. Oh no, so it was Revox, but recently I switched to the GUID, the 550.
How's that feeling?
now that I got some settings worked out, it's
Yeah,
definitely way better.
that's always the
Um,
game. Gotta
and
gotta go to war for a little bit and try to
yeah,
get it
there's
set
some
up.
numbers to write, but definitely not knocking the Revox because that's put in some work for if you don't like to play with the numbers, the Revox is the way to go.
Yeah,
Just 1 through
I've
6. And
I've always for me when I've driven Revoxes, they felt a little lazy. But then obviously I drive James's car, and his car does not feel that way.
yep,
I
yep.
think that do you guys all do a curve on your steering?
Oh, I'm the only weird one that does that. But, we all run a very similar. We all run a team.
Curve on the steering. Oh,
Yeah, we all run the same team spec servo tune now, or like our
Yeah.
G
I
style
want to
stuff.
say
Okay.
Yeah, we're all pretty much on that baseline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a weird one who runs a tiny bit of expo just to numb down that, like, 100% sensitivity. I bring it down to like 94 just for my shaky hands on comp, so I'm not being a weirdo. So
Okay.
um,
Were
that's just
you were you not uh recently? I mean, they were Judd and Jake were telling me about running it so that it's actually more intense. The center dies off. Were you not
That
doing
would
that?
be better.
yeah, it's I've never done that. Funny enough, I'm just taking old, pretty much plane and helicopter knowledge and bringing it in
Yeah.
from, when those things were too spazzy. I'm like, hold on, let me dial
Yeah.
it back a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. Because I've definitely done that with this with the throttle, and I can see uh I because I tried both ways with my steering. I'm just so used to the linear mode that it neither I didn't really like either of them. But the other way, the like I don't remember what if it's positive or negative, but the way that makes it more uh like faster in the center was interesting because it does make your car like
It would be
come
positive.
around super fast. Like as soon as you touch the steering, it's like already sideways, which was pretty cool. But because I could see that helping the feeling of that I get from a Revox usually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bad then it's I like
I will say I'm the only one who's I run my own electronics. I have had the team set up, but I've strayed off of it and done my own. Obviously with the
yeah
GYD I can't,
yeah yeah. It's
not a
like as
lot
soon as you get on
transfers.
a GYD, everything's kind of out the window anyways. And I do think like there's benefit to having someone kind of set up your car, put all their settings on it, do that. I think at the end of the day, though, you're gonna want to, for the most part, could probably mess with it a little bit, and push it more towards kind of what you feel.
Definitely. You gotta drive your car.
Oh,
If you don't drive like me, I don't drive like you.
and the good news is for Alex is, like, before the Revox came out, pretty much Miko and like the prior team, except me, everyone ran the GYD. So we already have people who know it extremely well inside and out. So it's not like it's this foreign, different,
Yeah,
gyro. It's like, oh, we already know how to tune in, how to work with
I
it.
don't
It's
even
just
know.
how do you want it to react? How do you want it to feel?
And
I'm
then
trying to think of what I ran before the Revox, but I was on the MST shit before that.
so is your RDX kind of just like your second car, basically?
uh, Third, I had a RX. I bought one off of OfferUp, and it was way better than the MST. Thanks to Keith. Keith freaking he put the magic on it and made it work for me. Yeah, he said, made that thing work for me.
As it is.
uh,
There's, sorry, Logan, but there's a question in the chat I thought was kind of interesting topic of running the servo in the back versus the front, and that's both Alex and X run it, I believe. You're running X, you're running it in the back too, right?
Yes.
Well, you two both run. What is the benefits that you've seen from doing that position?
just sits better like when you're at angle. For me, it's it it's not pivoting in the front as
It-
much as
It holds. It doesn't unload the weight.
Mm.
Yeah, it's honestly it's just about weight balance. Um, Definitely with the farther weight, you can go too far to where the rear end leads the front around, but you want the rear to be more aggressive than the front. But you don't want it to lead. Yeah, you don't want the rear to lead the front.
Yeah.
That's when you got too much weight. But
Yeah, you so for myself it was always just uh the weight balance that I felt most comfortable with, and point that your car rotates around changes based on where your weight balance is. We've talked about that topic, talked it to death on the show, but yeah, I think most people are somewhere in the realm of like 60 to 70%, I would say.
Mhm.
So that's all that is. I think the strategy for that is I think keeping the weight as close to the center of gravity as you can, beneficial for allowing the car to turn. Can turn faster if the weight is closer to the gravity. Kind of just pick your weight bias and then try to move everything close together as you can on that point
yep, centralized.
to a well performing car.
But yeah, it's pretty stock. I mean, it's just got some fancy shiny parts.
Yeah, yeah, you got all the stuff, all the screws and the bits and bobs, all the carbon. I was just like really kind of looking at all the pieces it takes to do all this.
Yeah.
A lot going on
Yeah.
in there.
There's 5 or 6 chassis put into there.
I feel like like you'd kickflip that thing, dude.
Oh, we have a couple times.
Cool, man. So what's your transmitter?
4 p.m. And a 334 receiver. I went with well, I had the 4 p.m. since I started, but specifically went with the 4 p.m. so you can tune the AccuVance, the GYD, whatever it can connect to pretty much anything. And it has more than enough menus
Yep.
to get lost in.
Still do the gyro and everything. I had to learn how to do that the other day at our track. A guy came in that it was like his first setup, and he had spent a fair bit of money on it. Like he kind of just bought at the time what was all of the most expensive stuff.
Jesus Christ.
A CT 700, a GYD. Like the chassis he had was the MRX GT, which I think it had probably just came out. So I was like, everybody was just kind of like, nobody knows how to do anything on this. But and then it was a 4 p.m. and I was like, I don't know. I kind of had to like fumble my way through the menus, just like how we could. I was surprised to find that we could. So that was nice.
Yeah, no complaints from the 4 p.m. It's
Yeah.
lasted. It's got enough to do whatever you want. You could do traction control, you could do steering, settings, everything. It's crazy.
Christian gets it. Christian gets it.
Shout out Xeno.
There, you typically run the ASO ones as well, or
No, we're DRCs. Um, yeah, pretty much just DRCs. We had the buzz breaks out not too long ago, but that was just seasonal.
I think once Overdose was, everyone was like trying those out. It was kind of fun.
They're crazy quick.
Yeah. Those were something else. Yeah, very
That
weird.
that's that style of driving it is fun. Just gets a little crazy when you're going so fast.
It was definitely fun.
Alrighty, so I think we should need to get some questions from chat first. What are you guys doing? These guys are asleep tonight. Oh yeah, Christian talking about on the 4 p.m. how you can't actually see the number for your gain. There,
Hmm.
you guys,
Yeah.
is there a way around that?
Mine goes down in twos. I don't know if you can change that.
I think you can change the steps. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, I've always adjusted mine through the menu, so
Oh.
I never had a dial.
Yeah, so it has you can set it to the dial and you can change the steps of the dial, but there's no number if you do it like that. It's just the bar on the bottom. So you're just kind of like guessing. It's hard to like put it back to maybe setting that you like. You're just
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, I think about there. Good. I agree. That's a good complaint. They should
And
do a firmware to get some.
1 or 2 points will make a difference in your car. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
just try and be precise with that.
There's even
Learn
like
that one over time.
there's even like I feel like one step is almost having it on the minimum. Going up one number is like I'm kind of like in between that. Wish there was
Yeah.
even more steps.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can really fine tune it.
You guys know what springs these are?
The Rev D R Tune. I believe it's the red ones in the back and the blue ones in the front.
I think it's blue in the back and red in the front.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
blue in the back, red in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got a picture of it. I don't know what I'm guessing.
Cool, man. Well, as the only member of style that doesn't drive this setup, I think it is pretty cool. I like driving James' car. It's not quite the settings that I would prefer. But that everybody. I
What
do want to
chassis do
build
you
a
have?
RDX eventually.
You had the SD or the RD?
Which one
The SD or the RD that you have?
that I have? I have a MD2.
MD2.
Even more.
Yeah, that's out there.
I have a Z, a YD2Z, and an RD and an MD2. I'd like to build an RDX and an
Start with
RD2.
that Z.
I need to put another rad in that car. It still has my like original hobby wing just stock setup, and kind of annoying
No,
over that.
kinda.
All right,
What
let's
else
roast
we
some
got?
rigs.
Ooh,
We
uh-oh.
haven't looked at this in a little bit, so there's gonna be a lot to go over. But we'll just go up here. It is 4 gear.
Sorry, I'm also typing away in the chat to answer some questions. Thought I'd
I gotta
sneak a
sort-
few in there while we're working. Mhm.
Yeah. Trying to find a good one to roast.
To roast.
People always. Oh, here we go. we can enjoy this wonderful to this is a masterpiece. Absolute. Might have looked at this in a previous episode, but
Yeah, damn.
That's the first world's first carbon fiber
That's a big deck.
Vortec drift. I imagine that already existed for some other reason. But yeah,
Jesus.
look at that bad boy.
Oh my god. That's
It's insane. Who got
what
the
was it?
sequel?
2,500? 3,000?
5,000.
Yeah.
Throw two batteries on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be pretty fun to do like a 4S
Just
Vortec.
freaking
They're
drift
crazy.
or hill track.
Just get really crazy.
Yeah. Take that to a BMX park.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's monstrous.
I don't want to say nothing about the wiring because I know mine doesn't look that good. But
Well, yeah, hold on now.
He
hey,
said,
hey,
wait a
hey, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa! I thought we were past this part.
minute. He said, that doesn't look too bad, actually.
uh,
Because it's
Got some-
organized.
You got some zip ties. There's some.
Well,
I've seen
just wait till
better.
my wire gets cut in the pinion.
That's dangerously close. You like to live on the edge.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, mine's pretty nasty.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I could see you guys don't. Yeah, all right.
I don't know. I just drive the car.
The expectations are not high for wiring. That-
Nope, not at all. Not at all. Does it work? Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
I want to see this drive. That's all I care.
Right, here's one from Guy. Let me. This thing. See, this is my issue with roast my rig in our Discord. Is people know they're gonna get roasted, so then they only post like the best picture they can possibly.
I don't want that.
Like, okay, well, nice.
I'll throw out my submission.
This is from Guy. Like a fantasy front end,
That thing got destroyed.
something or other. A lot of top deck.
Yeah, that's
That's a lot of carbon.
looks like it does stuff though. Looks like it runs nice.
Sure it does. Dame Vittorio. I'm finally this this event this weekend is like the first time I'm actually kind of cleaning my car, and I don't know. I couldn't tell you how long.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see much to complain about here.
Right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
it's like-
everyone builds this stuff.
Let me see. Let me find something to roast. I'll find something. Look at those rubber bands. What you doing? What you doing?
Got him.
Do better.
This is kind of I don't know what's going on here.
This Midwest spec.
Why is your battery upside down?
Right.
Well, I mean that's kind of trick because then the battery cables go out.
All right, so that's a plus.
Not gonna hate
there.
on him for that,
We'll-
but this
we'll give it to him. We'll give it to him.
these bullet connector these terminals on the motors very sus,
Yeah, yeah.
and that upper shock mount in the rear is also very sus.
What's the? Is that got like a handle in the back above the ESC?
Above the ESC.
I think
I
that's
just-
just the
oh, I see
chassis
it.
and the rear toe block,
Hmm.
and then kind of body post
Oh,
combination,
oh,
something.
That's what it is. Hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't got much to complain about. It's shiny. It's colored well. And
Lot
there's
of
lots
metal.
carbon fiber.
Yeah, like Jake said, it's kind of unroastable. It's like
Yeah,
you gotta really got nitpick.
there's a lot going on, but I like what I see though.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
like
All right, let's find someone else to roast. It's just so hard. It literally turned into just like show cars. Post your show car.
it.
Ooh, I see. How did D style start? I don't even know.
Can, can you fill us in,
That's a good question.
James? on that?
I
I
think
would.
I'm not the person who should be saying it, but it was Miko and his uncle who started it back in 2006 of them getting into like the all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive drift and going from there. But it's been running strong since then. So probably one of the longest hardcore, I don't know, just into it and never leaving it crew. So that's as much as I know.
When did you join, James?
I joined the end of 2019, 2020. So right before the pandemic.
And it's been around much longer than that, right?
Oh yeah, I feel like a very tiny chapter in the history of the crew and team.
All right, I got one for you guys. This I don't even know. I feel like none of us will know what this is, but we're gonna go for it. We can also play this game in chat of what is this?
Damn.
Built like a
So
Lego.
that first one was 5,000. This one is fucking at least 10,000. Is that metal?
I think it's a lot of that is 3D printed, and then the rest of it is just like a
Oh.
silver carbon.
Okay. All right. I was about to say. All right. Well, let me get started here. That long ass stick for the servo, that's crazy. I don't even know how we put that together.
This is some shit I would
What?
see. The scale magic, Tyler.
It even looks like it's kind of crooked and bent, like in the middle right there. But
Right.
I respect it. I respect the ingenuity.
That's what I was saying. Like everyone has a abomination they've made where it's like, I gotta get this to work. We gotta just figure it out.
Whatever gets the job done.
How many
It's fun.
standoffs do I need to finish off the servo arm? Two and a half. Perfect. It
So
works though. It works.
Is that a monoshock? I've
yeah.
never seen a monoshock car drive good. Not once. Not
It's
once.
absurd. It works.
He said it works. I'll vouch for it. It works. Fair enough. Fair enough. Man,
I don't know.
that is.
I'm waiting for the Does
I
it
mean,
anyone in
it's still
chat know what this is
respectable, though.
even
That's
is
the thing.
supposed to be?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Is it an MC1 with top deck? I have no. I wouldn't. I would have no idea.
I don't know. I don't think anything translates when you run one shock. I don't know. It just feels like a weird system to me.
There was someone at GGT probably
It's
like
a
2 or 3
Pokemon.
years ago
That's
who
funny.
ran a monoshock. Was it Sakura or Sakura like
Oh my
D4?
god!
And it did work.
Is this the same car?
Yeah.
No.
This is the rear.
Oh, that's wild.
What?
There's not a picture of the body, but I presume the body is also crazy.
Oh, the body is the van, most likely. That's why it has that long ass thing on
Yeah.
the. Okay, all right.
Mm.
So I will say how we got the voltmeter right there. That's sexy. I like that.
Bottle.
In the tank. Yep, that's dope.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes,
red meat
Mark
rear
is correct. It is a Dorifudo build. That is who submitted these photos. I just
Oh,
like
right.
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Michael in the chat, actually, he's got it. It's a kamikaze chassis. If you look it up, that's it.
BG1, damn.
It's crazy, whatever it is.
It looks cool.
I respect it. I respect it.
What is that? The wiring that's split left, right, and center?
Yeah.
Or is that just exhaust?
Yeah, no, that's
interesting.
That's intentional. He thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
I just want
steering
to see it
system is
drive.
so crazy.
The servo off to the side is a weird one.
Yeah. There's this era of when people were like trying to figure out how to do a drift chassis. Like people were doing crazy shit.
That's one thing. I'm glad glad times now it's not 4-wheel drive and not shitty
Right.
chassis.
Totally.
It feels a lot more like real drifting. Car setup wise.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very thankful. Yeah, they got the tail slider on. Very thankful to have gotten into this when it's predominantly figured out. Since we have Mark here, I'm gonna throw this one. But yeah, some of the older like 2000s and 90s designs of stuff is hilarious.
It's crazy that it's been around for that long.
No. All right, Mark. What do you have to say for yourself here?
Ooh.
Wait.
Well,
Please
no way.
Please tell me he's running a short clip.
That's not going sideways. Is it going sideways?
Are the shocks pointing out?
Wait.
7 scale.
7?
Oh,
Wait, do we know what body Mark is running on this?
He doesn't have a picture of the body and
Okay.
it's a life size.
Jeez, that thing's massive. I say I got all
it's
excited because
crazy.
I thought it was the 10 scale.
I can't
version.
roast this.
Am I wrong? Are the shocks pointing in a V in the front?
Downwards.
Mm.
Is it a drift chassis?
No, it's
Yeah.
like a 7 scale like buggy thing that he
Okay.
probably attached the front of a drift chassis to.
The thing looks like a Traxxas slash 4x4 stretched out with a Yokomo front end attached to it.
Literally.
Says the drivetrain is slash.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's ingenuity.
That's Mark for you.
I dig it. I'm into it.
I feel like
There you
for
go.
how fast it might go, if it runs into anything, GG. That front end.
Everything looks so skinny.
But I bet it handles like a beast.
That thing's gotta pick up some speed though.
Yep.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh, the bottom of it.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? You
What's
guys are
this? Yo.
this picture is fucking bolted that shit down. The freaking
That-
deck.
I feel like these two should go together, so I want to make it happen.
Oh, that's comedy. Oh,
You can see it's like a
Ooh.
slash back
Yeah,
half
yeah.
and like
Yep.
a.
wow.
Like the YD2 from Shredcraft.
I
Just 'cause,
respect
like
it.
no one, you can't tell the scale of shit unless
That
you're
is a
like.
massive
next to it,
R34
right?
body.
What the fuck?
I don't even know they
half my
made them
body.
like that.
Yeah, it's
It looked
big.
like the
So the
gyro
whole
was
front
active
end's
right now.
YD2, so that's why it gets.
Just the drag setup.
Yep. I want to see it go sideways.
Change, he's got it. Boom.
Damn.
Hey.
I mean, it's working.
It works.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to understand because you don't realize how big it is
Yeah, it's
when you're just seeing it by itself, by itself.
You
Jeez.
can see it's like a slash back.
Okay.
I think
Like
it handling more like a slash is pretty sick.
just 'cause, like,
We need we're gonna need you to put a nitro motor in that real quick, Mark.
The tires are Hoons with 2-liter bottles. That's brilliant. I love it. Just whatever it takes to make it work.
I was wondering what was around the tires. Wait, does that mean that's how thick the tires are? Goddamn.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Wow.
2-liter bottles is crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. The picture doesn't do it justice.
The thing is just pure engineering. There's no beauty. It just works, and that's all it needs.
Yeah, Mark builds a lot of like solid rear axle stuff too.
Dual shit. Dual motor solid axle. That's crazy.
All right,
Madman.
a lot of cool craziness. You guys ever want to mess with anything like that, or are you just kind of focused on what you got?
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm focused on what I got.
For me, I got some crawlers, but nothing extensive. I'm not inclined to build my own chassis.
I think all of us, what I've seen, like, have our one main car, and we kind of just
Definitely.
we have
True. Got you, Vittorio.
a lot of guys in our area that really like collect them all, and just always have something.
That's it.
Well-
Somebody's got a little bit of everything too. People got mini crawlers, the mini Z's, the buses, trikes, something, drones.
Oh.
Everybody's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I would like to get more into drones, like time issue.
It's a rabbit hole for sure. But regarding people with different chassis, I'll tell you what, with a certain someone having a lot of different cars,
Know who you are?
you know who you are, because I have one of your cars at the moment on loan. And as much as I love my RDX, being able to drive the LP86 is such a fun breath of fresh air for how this one is specifically set up. Like,
Yeah, that's
my
true.
car, my car is pure comp car. Like, the thing is kind of built to exceed in that one. But then having a car that does the exact opposite, where it is insanely floppy and just not, it handles, I don't want to say opposite, but like, it's very loose and it's very soft compared to being, our standard chassis that we drive. The thing is an absolute hoot and a blast to drive around the track. And it's even
Yes.
funnier when you can keep up with the fastest people at the track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun. I just love the aspect of having a car that can barely get to drift around the whole track. Like, that kind
Yeah.
of takes you back into a different era. Like, a lot of people in IRL drifting would start with a car that maybe is very underpowered, and you have to air up the tires, and it's like a struggle to even link the whole track. Versus in RC drift, a lot of times you're starting with what is
FD class,
essentially like a pro car, even more.
straight to it.
So to be able to go back to something like that and slide around, it is really fun to drive. I also enjoyed driving. Lance had his Fortec that he got. We were driving it in the parking lot. That was a lot of fun. Just like silly.
Yep. Take it off some jumps.
Yeah,
Whatever you do.
exactly.
Off roading with it.
Yeah, we had like there's like a bit of a hill lot, so you could really build up some speed coming down, but then it was like really hard to drift back up it. I think that would be hopefully next summer we can organize some like outdoor. Then it's always the question of outside. Probably not
Yeah.
Cassie.
Guy up there in Washington, he's got his outdoor spot.
Yep.
And again,
Yeah.
I'm all for
I have not made it out to that, but yeah, and it looks like a blast for.
outdoor elevation, some character. It's smooth is only so fun.
Yeah, that's definitely, like I said earlier in the show, that's definitely what's missing from the whole track scene. Elevation change, but not just like, even like a lot of places have like you go up to a certain level and then you come back
Yeah,
down. Like
not,
that's awesome.
not-
It's fun.
Not one object.
Yeah, it's like
Like a flow of it.
comparing
feels
it to
nice.
other places where it's just like constant change. That's what we're missing.
Definitely. Mm,
Yeah, you definitely. I think sticking with the brush motor on the LP86 and no boost and no turbo is the way.
It's so fast and it's own Steve. Like you're pinned, you're like on fully maxed out on throttle 90% of the track. You're just like squeezed full tight trying
Yeah.
to keep up and like, but it's like full talk me status. Like you're just like pushing the car as fast as it can go, and it's so entertaining. We were even considering like maybe should we allow it for round 6? Someone might get upset, but it'd be fun.
yeah, that's a hard one to make that decision. If it's like a fun comp, that's you're more than welcome. But once you start, you got rules, you got people who have cars set up for a specific reason.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't
It's a little
think
different.
we have pretty small turnout, anyways, and I don't think anyone care too much.
Yeah,
I mean, be James and I, a few other people that it actually matters for. I don't.
best way.
Be fun though.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I don't, I haven't heard too much from down at Super G, but I remember Shane and there was some voice of like, oh, we should do a spec class for this car.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah, they definitely. Yeah, there was a point where there was a comp for it, and then they postponed it. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure when it's going to happen again. Once more people get chassis or what, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Vittorio.
Hey, where that, buddy?
We should have asked him about that last week. I forgot to ask him about it. I think, yeah, that's a case of just not having enough people that got it yet, because it obviously distributed in batches. Yeah. They were waiting for the second round to go through, and there was just not having
They're
time.
going to Japan.
I'm out.
All right. Well, I'm definitely bringing that chassis with me when I come down to visit. It's just too much fun to, not bring along.
They're I think if it's just it's a good platform to like experiment with different motor configurations and stuff, because it is interesting to me that in generally we choose like the equivalent of like a 2000 horsepower engine put in our cars. Kind of weird, right?
Yeah, that's one thing that transfers insanely different. is you have instant power. There's no build up. There's no
Yeah.
roll into it.
Yeah.
It's gonna go.
Not only is there like instant torque, but there also is just a lot of it. Like
Yeah. Too much can be too much.
Mhm.
Depends
Okay.
on how you use it.
Sorry, I thought it was kind of an interesting question in the chat, but Vittoria was asking what was your favorite body that you've ran so far?
Ooh,
Do you have a favorite?
I'm stuck with 180s. I my blue and purple dialed in 180. That was by far the most fun body I've had.
FC, FC for sure. Unfortunately, I won't. I will never have a comp car that's a FC again. But
Yeah, this is it.
yeah, this will be the last time. But for sure, FC is my favorite.
why do you say that? You just want something shorter or
Yeah, something shorter. Like it
It's
it gets
too
it
much of
gets
a handicap.
like I have an 8.6 body. It's the Yokomo one, and like it's a little,
James
it's
has
a
one?
little, it's a little, definitely a little shorter. Not as short as I'm not sure the new Yokomo one, but it you can definitely feel the difference of how much closer you're getting to the walls and stuff. It's yeah, it's definitely an advantage.
Helps.
Of
Of course,
it helps. It helps.
Miko.
Altezza.
We all know that.
Yeah, yeah,
That-
the standard for that was it for a bit.
Fine.
Yeah, especially with everybody's on 8.6. Not even just 8.6s, but just trying to get short bodies in general.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it, so it's kind of hard to be.
I'm surprised there hasn't been any like. Oh, actually, I seen a Driftwell Corolla, but that's about
Yeah.
it. That's about it.
Miko
Yeah,
still
that
has
is
to
a
buy
little
this.
expecting
time.
more of them. Maybe for finals, we'll see a couple.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see a couple for finals.
Michael
I'm excited
Vasquez
for
is
that.
saying for spec class, it'd probably be easier if I can. Definitely don't have that. I was gonna say in it, but stock class would be easier with stock ESC 17.5 motors, which could encourage more people to join. You guys think? I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
What stock ESC does the LP86 come with the ESC and stuff?
Yeah, that thing is bare bones. Just you get nothing.
I think he's. If you're referring to like the just stock actual hobby wing like line, I think that's the money for sure. 'Cause those are that setup is like $105 for a motor and ESC.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can get into it real cheap.
interesting.
yeah, something like that would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you could the car. I don't want to say it's limited, but like it's so simplistic. You can only tune in my mind so far before you take it out of the realm of what it's supposed to be. But like what Michael's saying, it's like yeah, if you kind of like built it up as a spec stock class, it'd just come down to driver and kind of like a bit of tuning, and it'd be kind of like a really fun way. It just all of a sudden the cars are kind of ruled out of the equation. It's like who's
Yeah.
Who's the better driver?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
real, who is the better driver?
Because how much is the LP80?
I
Like
think
250.
no, I think
Less?
It's like
SG
less
has
than that, right?
the kit's like 144.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only like it looks like freaking 5 pieces
Yeah.
that you're putting together.
I mean, there's no front suspension. It's kind of like little springs in the front of just how it compresses, and then pretty much a monoshock. That's not even a shock. It's like it's a damper without a spring. So the thing is, you trying to hold. If you've never held one before, it feels like a floppy mess. It just tries to hop
Yeah.
out of your hand. But they're great.
I know of one, my buddy Caesar, but I don't think anybody else really has any at GGT. We
Yeah.
can't find out on that batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly I'm not seeing as many around as I thought I would, considering the price and everything.
Yeah. There was definitely a couple that went out and it made a little bit of noise, and that was it. They kind of just stopped right there.
I think that they're either just a little too quirky, or it reminds people of like the pan cars from yesteryear. Where it's like,
Mm,
oh, that's kind of a weird step back in the hobby, and if you try and force too much of your logic from what you know from drift onto it, kind of might not be what you like. It's like people coming into the RDX with a preconceived notion how they want their car to be tuned or how they like to drive, and be like, oh, this car kind of has its own vibe and feel that if you're either on board with it or it's not the car for you. And I think
Yeah.
the LP is kind of like a magnified version of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's also there's a real challenge for spec series, which I guess you just have to really like if I think about the competition series that we already have, it's once a month and we get around 20 drivers. So it's like, one, are we really going to see a healthy roster every week? And then two, it's like, is everyone going to do both, or are they going to try to only do one or other? You know what I mean? So that makes it challenging. I think at Super G is definitely a lot more justifiable because there's much bigger player base,
Mm-hmm.
and you could have a lot of guys that wanted to focus on the spec series over the big series, but then at some point you're going to want to move up.
Mm-hmm.
There, that car is just so different from like a traditional chassis that it's like you wouldn't want to spend too much time practicing with that if your end goal is main series.
Although I do think driving and getting good on a chassis like that, and
Translate.
then going to a bigger car would be,
Yeah,
you'd be a
definitely
totally
help for
different driver.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
have to concur.
yeah, the main thing would just have to be that it's focused on like this is fun and different, something different to do.
Yeah, definitely.
But so many things that are supposed to be for fun turn competitive so fast. I'm like, I don't really,
Yeah,
I can't really
Agree.
suspend the belief of like, yeah, it's just for fun. People are gonna sweat that all day.
Yeah,
And
it's
yeah,
exactly
your
how
level
that
one
goes.
is totally up to you.
Just for fun, I want to be as good as that guy.
Oh, I'm not good. I want more.
Yep, pretty much, pretty much.
to be honest, that's what the ProTech series before our SDC felt like. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a fun series, like it's gonna be cool, and just kind of like laid back. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm just as stressed out as this I am for SDC. Cool.
Feel
you know,
that.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still that pressure is still building for you as a driver to come and do your 30 seconds or less. That pressure is still there. So
Yeah, yeah, it's really difficult to separate any type of pressure or anxiety, even if it is supposed to be a for fun deal. We do Tandem Tuesday every week, and every week I'm like just as nervous every battle as I am in a main, like when we do our main series. I don't know why.
yeah.
It's totally for fun. I don't get upset or anything. It's just like whatever happens. Then it's
We
just
should
like,
do
but
something like that at GGT.
I'm down. I'm always down.
I think it's cool. I think for us it's helped a lot of our newer people kind of warm up to the idea of what
Yeah, to
competitive
the
drifting is
concept.
like and how that all runs, what they're going to expect. And yeah, I mean, you guys both know like the one thing you're trying to work on is calming the nerves a little bit. I think exposure is easily the best
The best
solution
way,
to that
for sure.
problem. And it works. I mean, I don't know if it works at helping my nerves, but it definitely works at building like having me get into that mode again. Like doesn't matter who I battle, it's still like, oh shit, here it comes. Like
So
slow breathing, and then the battle starts, and it's like right there, panic.
It's not as much helping you deal with getting rid of the nerves. It's how to deal with it. What is your process? What did
Yeah,
you like? What
yeah.
is
Mhm.
what worked for you?
That's
What
totally
did
what I found, and I've talked about this a million times. It's been not necessarily getting rid of it, just driving better with.
yeah.
Mm.
Find your routine and not stick to it. And obviously try new stuff, but once you find your routine, it's pretty.
Yeah,
You know what works for you.
I feel that. I feel that.
This point,
Still figuring it out.
yeah, this point, uh, I see this point get brought out a lot. That Vittorio said, "If you feel pressured, it's just a toy car," and it's like, I
Mhm. That's
do,
true.
I hear that, but at the same time, like, you could expand that to almost anything. Like, it's just a ball. It's just a game or a sport. Like, well, that's not really. I don't know if I really.
So it is, but also at the same time, this is what you're doing. This is what you came to do. There should be some level of pressure.
Yeah,
Not, don't make or break your whole week. It
yeah,
shouldn't be a
yeah,
negative pressure. It should
yeah. I
be
mean,
a
at the end of the
positive.
day, right? Like, you don't want to anything that is going on in this hobby shouldn't like affect out yourself outside of being at the track.
Negatively.
Thank
I'd say
God.
negatively.
But then at the same time, like, if I get beat by somebody, then it's like all week I'll think about that and be like, I gotta go practice. I gotta go practice. I want to get better. But it's like I think that's okay.
Yeah, it just you want a little bit more.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
gotta find a balance. That sounds like that's Victoria's mantra for himself.
Yeah,
That's how he works.
that's
Toy
how he
car.
exactly. That's how he works through it. That's funny.
I wonder where in the world Vittorio is this.
Think about food. Gay thoughts. Whatever works for you.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he told me to do that. It's like just
Times.
that's super G right now.
So what is your guys' season is done already, right? Or do you have one more?
I think there's one more.
Right?
I think there's one more
Is there? I think isn't it finals next?
because we have one coming up in September. I'm pretty sure September, and then October is finals.
I
I don't,
oh
I don't know.
oh there is. That's what they're saying. Oh, I don't know shit apparently.
So when
That's the real short.
you guys try to get practice in at Super G, like say the week of a comp before, or
Hmm. Usually.
try to like
Yeah,
plan?
maybe a day or two, but really it's just to check in, make sure the car feels any setup changes, make sure it still feels like it should,
Same.
or you're not missing out on anything with whatever you changed.
Do you guys like to practice a lot the day of? Like, do you practice as much as possible? Or do you try to take it easy?
I try to get as much laps in as possible. I've had a thing of coming in like 5-10 minutes before like all right, it's time to check in slash it's time for qualifying so my tires aren't broken in or nothing. But these last couple of comps I've been pretty good about coming in decently at least.
Yeah, you started showing up at 2 o'clock now instead of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, also side note, if you see Xavier, yell at him. Make sure you get him to come out more. Nobody asked about me.
You don't drive enough, huh?
Apparently not. See, they're calling Alex a bully in the chat. They know how he is.
Oh yeah. I'll bully you into competing more.
But you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Love to see it.
When is Miko? Miko, I don't know when Miko's going to be on. I think you have to ask Miko.
Yeah, I think he decides that one.
Miko decides when he wants to be on. That's it.
Vittorio, this whole time, Miko could come on whenever he wanted to. It's not us, it's him.
Right.
We've tried. We've definitely tried. We'll get him on. I think the plan is for inevitably when he finally does make it up here, we'll do it in person
Ooh, I like that
episode.
one.
Pretty exciting.
I like that.
That's dope. That's dope.
Just like realizing that I had the chat popped out and I was only getting like half the message. Now I'm like panic reading. We're still learning how to do this, folks.
Plan.
So I've been watching you guys compete a lot. Kind of try to watch your battles. Even if I miss them live, I'll go back and look. And you both like tend to do very well. It's always just like a little mistake here or there, something, maybe a weird judge call. How do you guys? Something that I've been kind of fighting with this year has been knowing where, like, I believe I could be a lot. I could have better results throughout the whole season. Gotten. Are you guys feeling the same way, or is it just a thing where you're just kind of slowly building up your expectations?
I think. Well, here you first.
All right, all right. Well, I'm for sure slowly building up my expectations because I'm still trying to figure out the comp feels and whatnot. Like, what is it like? I think it's like my fourth or fifth comp that I've been to. So I know what I want to do. I just need to do it. It's not the car. It's not anything but me. So that's literally all it comes down to.
So did you make like a conscious decision to only start comping this year? I know you've been driving for quite a bit.
So last
longer.
year, freaking Alex and Dallas, shout out Dialed In Smoked Out, the first team that put me on. They told me to join a comp, even though I damn sure wasn't ready for it. But like it was good to get the toes wet, dip the feet in the pool. But it definitely grew some character. It definitely grew some character. But this year, I definitely said I was gonna do more comps. I think I missed one SDC for a wedding, but
That's
other than
excusable.
that, yeah. Other than that, I've been into all this SDs, and then next year, hopefully, I make it to even more comps like the federations and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll
That's
just keep on trucking,
Oh yeah. You're liking it and you want to do more. Good to
Yeah,
hear.
I definitely like this is a hobby that'll stick for sure. Like I've hopped around all types of shit, from disc golf to
Oh hell yeah.
video games. Freaking, I still disc golf here every now and again.
Good. Well, you'll have to when you come up, you'll have to bring your discs.
Yeah. Oh shit. Definitely.
I don't know if you can tell, but so.
Oh shit. Oh, what the fuck? I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that. Okay. That's dope. That's dope. Hell yeah. Definitely have.
Yeah. So Alex, what about yourself?
Ooh, for me, so coming from real real cars. I knew what I wanted to do. I know what a car should do. It's just a matter of translating it. Obviously, I'm kind of more or less I'm gonna hit a wall in almost every competition. Um, it's either I'm gonna it's my goal is win or crash. There's no in between. I don't like to leave it up to I don't want it to be interpreted. I want it to be decisive and
Yeah, I understand that.
but
It's
definitely I overdrive a lot.
okay.
I will crash into walls. That's because again that comes from this is a toy. I can crash it. There's
Yeah.
no consequences.
Yeah. No, that's
So
very real.
if you go from having no chance to crash to having all the chance to crash, it's a little easier to step over the
Yeah.
boundary. And I just formed bad habits, and
I
that's
think
just how I drive now.
that's definitely like a missing part of even like a Seto or RC versus the IRL thing is like there's zero consequence. So it's a totally different mindset that you have to drive in. And I think that's what makes it a little bit like there's an argument that it could be like a
Mhm.
little bit requires a little bit more precision because you are gonna flirt that much more with the edge of slamming into the wall because of the repercussions are non-existent essentially. Like
Mhm.
the
Definitely.
I was just watching like I watched a clip of like it was the Outer Zone with Human Rahimi, and he was talking about like yeah, like it takes everything I got to even be here. So if I crash the car, it's like that's it. It's game
Yeah,
over.
that's
It's such a different mindset from the way we drive. It's like, oh man,
If I'm gonna crash, if I have the opportunity to spend 60,000 on a crash, throw numbers and 20,000 to be realistic. If it's gonna cost me 20 grand to crash, I'm probably not gonna crash,
yeah,
or I'm not gonna take those necessary
not gonna push
chances.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, but if it costs me $20 in the long term to replace a body, it's it's a no brainer. But
Adam asks what are the biggest differences you notice between IRL and RC?
ooh, um, for me, the tires didn't translate. The suspension was okay. The alignment was okay, but having no control over the actual grip that the tire's putting out and it being just a hard, solid surface
Yeah,
versus clutch kicking, you sink, it takes just a half second for everything to get moving. You got to be more predictive with that.
yeah, you got to drive way
Um,
more ahead of it.
yeah. So with RC stuff, it's I drive where the car's at, not really what's in front of it. It's where is it at and where is it pointing. I mean, it still translates, but it's just a weird feeling.
Yeah, no, that's totally. I can see that. I've done
But
like I've done like some rallycross stuff, and it was definitely you have to all of your input is like on a delay basically. You have to be ahead of what's happening, versus like you said
yeah,
in RC,
yeah.
it's just you have instant. Like,
Um, I will say I try to make my car feel as close to what a realistic driving car would feel like. Like I can feel when I throw my weight around, I can feel, you know, that translates. That's
yeah,
not a that's not unique. That's just drifting.
yeah.
But
I think
for me,
there's a lot of the reality of physics is that if you have a suspension that's similarly set up, it's feel pretty close. I mean,
yeah,
reasonably.
similar. But then again, being you don't have tires to tune with, you have you can change mounting points, you can change chassis stiffness, you can change a number of things that you can't do in a real car. So you can make it do whatever you want it to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You have a lot more freedom with the suspension for sure.
And to me, that's too much freedom. I will easily get into trouble with it. That's why I
Yeah.
don't have a Shark. That's why RDX is the simplest car you can get.
Yeah.
It's pretty self-explanatory. It's hard to ruin yourself, but now we build from there.
James, I'm seeing excitement in James's eyes about
I know,
anime team
I'm reading-
bodies.
I'm reading Adam's thing. Like, I'm always down to do that. It's more of just like, does that work for the whole team? Like, I hate to say it, Miko and I are definitely anime nerds together. Like, we watch shows, talk about stuff, and it's like we live in that culture. But it's kind of like, would that work for the rest of the team? Maybe, maybe not. Like, I don't want to force that on the rest of the crew if they're not feeling it or not into it. But I'm always down for it. But
I'm down.
okay. Drop one up.
Alex, save me.
What are we doing?
Are you pro anime? Are you pro anime themed
Ooh.
team bodies or not?
You go with 20.
Titties. Gotta have titties.
He said hentai. He didn't even say anime. That's fine.
You just jump all the way.
Why you have to be extra like that, man?
It happens.
Oh man. Well, I mean,
Ooh, real quick. Sorry, I saw when is GGT night during championships? Every night. Show up, come drive.
Yep. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Actually, I'm not sure about Sunday, but Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, maybe not. But Saturday night, that's the night.
I'm not sure what day we're going yet. Can't
Yeah,
remember what we
even
said.
even Thursdays
Mhm.
more than open.
Wednesday.
Adam, I don't think I'll ever go the full official hot dog racing logo on a car. I think it's a little. That's too much.
You gotta do it. Do it with the Wonder Bird livery.
Yeah, our house is much closer to GGT than it is to Super G, which is fun.
That's good. That's good.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah,
Not at all. Not at all.
exactly.
Anna, that's
would-
okay. You can always catch the recording. What are you saying, James?
I was gonna say those nights we're up until 2 a.m. at the track. You'll have a short drive home.
Yep. And
We'll
those
take it-
nights for sure.
Yeah,
Take
I
a
mean,
nap.
Only past two, most likely.
that's
For sure, this weekend is gonna go crazy. Like I don't even know what Saturday or Friday is gonna be like. It's gonna be wild for sure.
for myself. I'm even up here. I'm worried about this weekend. I'm just
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
so exhausted. I
Right.
know it.
It's literally sun up, sundown at
Yeah.
the track.
Just get home, go to sleep, wake up, eat breakfast, go back.
Yep, and clock back in.
All right. Well, we have made it to 9 o'clock.
Wow.
It was. I'll have you guys hang out once we go off air here, but yeah. Sorry if the stream wasn't as prepared as it normally is, but I think it was
Sorry,
still
we'll do it again.
still a good chat. And next week, like I said, we have. What did I say? We have a guest. Oh yeah, Nikki. Next week. Hopefully Adam will be back. I'm not too sure. I think so. We'll do this again. Thanks for tuning in. Keep posting. You guys have questions, you can always post them in the Discord. Let me get a Discord link in here real quick. Right at the end. That's the best place to do it. Yeah, next week is all.
This side.
Next week is all mini,
Wait.
all things 124 scale, mini style.
Drift hard.
Oh, look. Why is it backwards? Is it that way?
That way, try to figure out the camera.
Yeah. Grab all the Instagram handles there. Follow us all. We're all cool guys, I promise.
Apologies if you find more wake stuff than drift stuff. It's just my work, but that's how it goes.
All right. Have a good one, everybody. Where's the button?
Moose.
Later.
This is gonna be awkward because I don't know where.
We'll just start wave. Just wave to everyone.
Just
Hi.
keep waving.
Just keep just
Have a good night.
Just start waving.
Smile and wave.
Eventually, they'll go
Oh.
away.
Wow.
Keep waving.
Yep. Just keep waving. Just keep waving.
Almost there, I promise. Oh, there it is.